Hi there, this is our semester project part 3. I'm Selena Beltran. We have Judy Hodges, we have Sandra Acosta, Rain Kelly, and Emily Lewis. And right now we just wanted to start out by answering the question of why we chose the solution that we did.
When the student work in group, they can help each other learn. Students can answer language-specific questions or clarify confusing points of English in a way that ESL student can understand and you may not be able to explain. When they help each other, it benefits both of the students involved. In the teacher ways, she can understand the pair and group work provide excellent opportunity for ELLs or language development because each student has more time to talk than in a long group discussion. And students often feel more comfortable sharing their ideas in a small group environment.
Perfect. And then our next question is, what changes did we make to our curriculum or activity in step 2 in response to children and family with diverse needs?
So changes that we made, we started off by having the class together and asking questions to individual students. But the change that we made is that when we noticed Jocelyn having issues, we broke the students off into pairs. So that way we could talk to Jocelyn one-on-one. And from there, we continued to change our plans by moving forward, keeping those groups and handpicking who we wanted to be in the group with Jocelyn to help her out.
Perfect. All right. So some additional resources that we found for other approaches to the problem were source 1. We used an article or talk called Refuge in the Storm.
By Elder Patrick Kearing, and it was a general conference talk in 2016, and he suggested that we begin on our knees in prayer and that we could offer to mentor. And one of the suggestions given was as a place to mentor was the schools. One thing to try is to ask the 6th grade counselor to assign a mentor to Jocelyn, perhaps a high school student who has been through what she has been through and can give her guidance and help her navigate the differences in culture. The cons to that is obviously, you know, if the high school student is not mature enough to do well with that.
Okay. For source 2, we used a side-by-side book.
Okay, this is the book Side by Side that we used with Jocelyn in the ELD classroom. So I would like to share with you the 2 quotations that I really love. One of them said, "Create a classroom environment in which students dynamically interact with each other, working together to develop their language skills side by side." And the other one is, "Language instruction is most powerful when it is joyful, helping students develop the competence and confidence to use English creatively too." So the pro about this book is it has the 4 skills of the target language: speaking, reading, listening, and writing. So I think this so benefit both for teachers and students in this case.
All right. And then for our 3rd source, we have our ELL Week 9 reading.
Yes, which we drew from the English as a Second Language Learners, a Guide for Classroom Teachers. And Emily actually provided this quote, this insight from that reading. And she provided, "Teachers working with newly arrived ELL students should also be aware that they may sometimes respond in unexpected ways to particular classroom situations or events due to their background and what they know, and it being a different culture, different everything." And it goes on to talk about how teachers need to be able to find many different strategies and able to see how students respond and find what best helps that student. And one alternate approach that we took from this is the approach of using visual aids, which is very helpful. If you can't understand the words right, you can understand the pictures for most people. And so that's a good pro right there. One of the only cons to using visual aids is if you don't use your visual aid well, and it creates miscommunication and leads your student astray.
Awesome. So next part that we wanted to talk on is the factors that were important to us in our team analysis. So this activity, this example was actually a real life example that Sandra had teaching a young girl from Mexico named Jocelyn. And something that was important to us is that we were able to clearly explain what happened, but also have our own different perspectives and opinions about how this was going to play out. And so we made sure that we had all spoken about it and helped Jocelyn in the best way that we could. Communication was very key for us. So we made sure that we were constantly talking about how we could help in this situation. And then the last question that we wanted to hit on was, how did our team's diversity impact the production of our presentation?
So each one of us is from different areas. Sandra is from Chile and she lives in Utah. Rain served the mission in Colombia and he lives in Idaho. I live in Florida and I'm from Puerto Rico. I speak Spanish, so that was helpful. And Emily is from Arizona and she provided a lot of some information that we did not know. Selena, who has been our leader, is from Idaho and she served the mission in Tennessee. So we each had different talents and we each complemented each other in coming together to put this project together.
And it was a lot of fun. But thank you guys for watching and we hope you all have a great day.